Okay, look over there, not over there. Oh God, I've just been doing my testing and I hate it. I will add it at the end, like I always do. So see, just don't look at yourself, Karen. Don't look at yourself. Look at the camera and talk to the audience. So I've just had a therapy session, so I thought it was a great time to come and talk. Oh, look, there's my cat. One of Hello, Annie. I thought it was a great time to come and talk to you guys whilst it's all fresh, and I've got bits and bobs want to talk about. I've got a little list here, so I will glance down, and I've remembered my microphone today. My hair needs a wash; it's scraggly, and I'm sat in a position where I feel big and broad again. But anyway, we've got to talk, so let's talk. So yeah, today I'm going to talk about, obviously I've done therapy today, so I love it. I really love it. I love doing it because I'm doing, as I've previously said, stage 3, and it's so much more advanced than stage 2, and I just love it. So she tasked me with doing mirror work 2 weeks ago, and I haven't touched it. It's not because I haven't wanted to touch it, although I partly don't want to touch it. It's exposure, and we have to do a lot of exposure work in therapy. But it's because I kept leaving the paperwork in this room where my voiceover stuff is, and every time I'd be upstairs, I think, oh God, I've got to do this mirror work, and I wouldn't have the paperwork to know what I do because I haven't read it properly. So I didn't do it, but I worked on my values, which I'll talk a bit more about in a little while. So I did my values and sent them over to her to have a look at. So today I'm just going to talk a little bit about, again, what body dysmorphia looks like for me, what it has looked like for years and years and years. So once again, obviously 30 plus years of living with this, and particularly worse when I'm in relationships. It's just an ongoing thing, but there are little steps that I'm taking and little moves I'm making that gradually are coming in. I think one of the things I said to her is, when you're having a moment or a day or whatever it is you're having, it's hard to remember in those moments to practice what you're learning because you're so in that space and it's so habitual. You've done it for 30 years of your life. It's a habit. It's where you automatically go. Seeing a hot woman, I'll immediately either be sarcastic and make a comment to my partner, go, oh yeah, look at this hot woman walking down the street, and that's not nice to them, but this is what it is. Or, oh look, she's hot, look at her coming towards us. I've pointed it out first. Or if I don't point it out, I then go very quiet and I'll just be quiet for the rest of the day. It used to be that I would be quiet for probably a week. It would affect me for like a week. Part of the reason it doesn't so much anymore is I did start to take citalopram December before last. And if I'm honest, it's helped loads with the racing mind and going over things. So it has helped in that sense, that I'm not obsessing about it for so long. And it could literally be a week. It could be ages. But I can do it for a day, or I might manage even to change it in that moment. Sometimes it can be all day. Sometimes it could be a couple of hours. So it's really varied, but it's not to the extent of what it used to be. So yeah, we were talking about sort of going through that and the habits that I have, and it's the behaviors. So they're called safety behaviors. They keep you safe. So the behaviors aren't helping you because they keep you stuck in this mindset of how you feel about yourself, what you think's wrong with you, the constant checking. The behaviors keep you safe, but they're not keeping you safe because really it just is carrying on. It's keeping the behavior going on and on and on, and the thoughts going on and on and on. There's so much to explain about it, and I need to sort of articulate a little bit better. So yeah, we talked about, so the mirror thing I didn't do, but I did do the values, and I will work on the mirror stuff over the next couple of weeks. And I've got some other bits and bobs that she's given me to work on. So I don't have to do all of them, but I would like to try the mirror thing a little bit. So I've started to sort of try it. I spoke a little bit about last week that I'm doing rescripting, which is really interesting. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about disordered eating. So I've not had an eating disorder, as in I've not had anorexia, I've not had bulimia, and there's many others, but they're your key ones. But disordered eating, so calorie counting, only eating so many calories a day, cutting out carbs and only eating protein, cutting out sugar, and then, it's disordered eating. There's always something that is there to make you lose weight. Obsessive dieting to make you exercising to make you lose weight. So yeah, I want to talk about that really. So obviously I have done the disordered eating. It still is very much in my head. You automatically think, oh god, I mustn't eat that, too many calories. Oh my god, I mustn't eat that, it will make me fatter. Or I've had too many of those this week, must be good next week. Or I can only eat bad food that's not bad at the weekend, but I must be good all week. Or, oh, I better not have a cake today if I'm offered it at work. It's just this constant, it's in your head, and it's really trying to break away from that. And that's what this therapy is. If you've got BDD, you have to try and come away from diet culture and exercise culture to lose weight. Exercise to be healthy, exercise because it's fun, eat nice healthy foods because you like them, not because you want to be thin. And that's what gradually I have to break away from. I have to be happy no matter who I am, what size I am at that stage of my life, and I cannot be thinking, do something about it. Or if someone says, well, if you're not happy, do something about it. No, that's what is wrong, that I've always wanted to do something about it or tried to do something about it. I did have a moment a couple of weeks ago, and I told my therapist this, which I was really impressed with, especially given that there's so much of skinny jab and Ozempic and all the things around at the moment. And that would have been my dream. A few years ago, that would have been my dream. Like, hell yeah, there's a jab that's going to make me lose weight. It terrifies me. I will not touch it with a barge pole. People can do what they like. I will not touch it with a barge pole. It scares me. And I was out walking my dog, and we were just in this field, and I had a thought, because I think I don't know if I've spoken to you about this, but I do a radio show every Friday morning, and I love it, and I would love to do voiceover work. That's always been a dream of mine. And I thought, if someone offered you could have your dream body for life, you don't have to work on it, you can have it for the rest of your life, or you can have a job doing radio and voiceover, and the job you would love to do and paid to do it, which would you pick? And I was like, hell, I'd have the job. I want the radio job and the voiceover job. And I was like, oh my God, I surprised myself. I had a moment of real surprise, because absolutely, I would have never said that. I always said I would literally give my arm to have the perfect body. So I had a moment, and I'm really proud. And I was really surprised. So anyway, back to disordered eating, and obviously explaining what that sort of looks like. So it's when you're still trying to eat a certain way to lose weight. You're doing it for a purpose, and that's what I have to try and get away from. So I've done intuitive eating, which I was introduced to properly sort of towards the end of last year. I actually listened to an audiobook about it. We talked about it in some coaching I was doing with the lady I mentioned last week, Sarah, and we talked about intuitive eating, and it's terrifying, because intuitive eating is where you throw everything out the window that you've been taught about food, and you eat what you want to eat. If you want cake, you eat it. If you want cake every day, you eat it. If you want cake for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you have it. And it sounds ridiculous, but it's making food just a non-thing. It's not good, it's not bad, it's just food that you can enjoy and you can love. And if you want a salad, you can have a salad. If you want a cake, you can have a cake. If you want a burger, you can have a burger. If you want a chili, you can have a chili. And that's what intuitive eating is. It's just eating what you want at the time. But the scary thing about intuitive eating is you tend to put on weight because you're going through this phase of just eating what you want to eat. And you almost go, oh my God, I can just eat it. So it's hard and scary because the thought of gaining weight, the fear of gaining weight is really difficult with that. It's really difficult, but it's something you have to do to step away from this culture, this diet culture. So it's really difficult. I have done it. I have put on weight and I do sit at a desk 4 days a week. So that's a struggle. I really struggle with not moving a lot. I like to just, when I'm off work, I'm just stood up all the time, moving around, pottering about, whatever. And I find it a struggle to just sit. I have a stand-up desk, but obviously I'm not moving a lot and my job is very desk-based. So being desk-based and intuitive eating is even more terrifying. So yeah, I have put on weight and that's hard when you've got body dysmorphia and you're there going, but I've put on loads of weight. But you have to do it to try and get through this cycle and coming out the other side. So I have done it and I'm kind of, intuitive eating just has got to become how you eat all the time. If you want it, you have it. If you don't want it, you don't have it. And you eventually get over the wanting the same thing. I remember a lady at the coaching said she just wanted mashed potatoes all the time. And she ate mashed potatoes, ate mashed potatoes, ate mashed potatoes. Eventually she got sick of mashed potatoes. I think she still likes them and has them occasionally, but she doesn't have to have them all the time because she had them so much. She wasn't bothered anymore. They just became a thing. It wasn't like it's restricted. You can't have it, so I'll eat all of it. If you want it, you have it. And it doesn't become a restricted food. It's just a food that you like the taste of. But it's very difficult. So yeah, I'm in that sort of trying to, if I want to have it, I'll have it, and try not to think, oh my God, I feel really bad. I feel really guilty. Oh my God, I'm going to put on 6 pounds by tomorrow. Oh God, I'm going to have to start again on Monday. So that's what I'm working on at the minute with food. Which again, it's really not easy. It's really not an easy thing, but it is nice to have that freedom of not going, I've got to have this because I've got to lose weight. I've got to eat this because I'll lose weight. I've got to do this because I'll lose weight. So now it's the stage of getting used to my body as it is and accepting it right now. And then there's still a part of me that goes, oh, eventually I'll drop some weight because I'll be fed up of eating this or fed up of eating that, or when I start to move more, which I'll talk about another time, when I start to move more, I'll lose weight again, and I still have that in my head. It's still here. Richard and Dick crop up a lot, and I said to my therapist Sunday last week, I struggled. There's some stuff going on, nothing bad, but there's some stuff going on, and it unsettles me. And then I'm back to feeling how I feel. Richard and Dick are being fed, is how she worded it. They're being fed because you're feeling insecure and you're feeling angry, and it makes you it hyper, I can't think of the word, the feelings that you have about yourself. So you look in the mirror, you see a worse version. I meant to bring you my drawing. I've got a drawing of what I think I look like that she asked me to do the first week we spoke. So I'll bring that next time. So yeah, like the outline of my body, how I see it from the side I did it. So I'll bring that next time and show you all. So yeah, there we go. That's a little bit about intuitive eating, disordered eating, and where I'm at the moment, things I'll be working on, which is the mirror work, and also some habit changing. But I think we'll talk about that a bit more next week. I'll have a look at the mirror work and explain how that's going. It's going to be difficult because I just look in the mirror and go, oh God, like I do in this camera, I hate it. If I spot myself over here, I hate it. So I'm really trying to focus on this dot on my camera so that I'm not looking at myself because I can't bear it. I can't bear this side landscape view. It's just horrific. But I've had some really wonderful feedback. I posted on my other socials to say I've done a thing that I love doing, but it's very scary and hard. And I've had like men ask me about it, ask me what body dysmorphia is. It's really lovely that men are taking interest and going, "What is this? Tell me." And I've had friends go, or ladies go, "Oh my God, I really relate to that." And another friend asking me about it. And I was talking to her about the patriarchy and things, which I will talk about more because I have a lot of opinions about advertising and things, which I'd like to save for another week because, we've got lots to talk about. But it's been a really lovely reaction, and lady at work is saying, "When's your video going to go out?" So, hi, Lisa, it's here. And yeah, it's been really wonderful. And I said it, I just want to, it's nice to talk about it for myself and talk about my therapy. And it's nice to talk about it for other women. Because I don't know anyone around here that talks about this. I don't know anyone that said they've got it. I follow people on social media that are nowhere near me. And it's really wonderful to just be a person that's talking about it, whoever I reach. So if you have watched me, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And I've got a longer video today. It's 16 minutes and 10 seconds. So I'm going to end it here, and we will come back again very soon to have part 4. And we'll talk a bit more about how the mirror work went and what I'm working on next. So yeah, we'll come back, and I want to talk about the patriarchy and advertising. So yeah, thank you for watching. It's been a blast. I will see you very soon. Take care. Bye. Oh my God, I'm an imbecile. I didn't turn my microphone on. What I was saying is testing 1, 2, 3, holding it, and I'm going to test it 1, 2, 3 on my lapel, and then I decide to look at myself in the camera and go, "Oh God, I hate it so much." I don't. As soon as I look at myself, I'm like, "Oh, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I really struggle. I hate it." Oh, and you're going to have to excuse this because 1 year today we've had our house. I did not talk to you about my values. I said I'll come on to that later. I did not come on to it later, so I will talk about it next week. And I went to tell you that it's our 5-year anniversary today and our 1-year anniversary of owning our own house, which is exciting. It's Project House. It needs a lot of work. This is just Room of Doom. And yeah, exciting times.